Hello, Box subscribers and viewers, and welcome back to the Precision Racing League Sunday series with iRacing. I am, of course, Justin, and today we're going to be kicking off Season 4 with a race around Summit Point. So with this new season, there are a lot of changes from last season where we were using the roofs with fixed setup. This season, we're going to be using the Radical SR8 with open setups, and instead of 2 races each week, there's just going to be one long one. So first of all, I'll talk about the car real quick. The Radical SR8 is an open cockpit race car. It's not a road car, it's a race car. It weighs in at about 650 kilograms or 1,400 pounds, a little bit over 1,400 pounds. It's a 380 horsepower naturally aspirated V8. So it doesn't have tons of power, but it's extremely lightweight. I mean, it's about the weight of an F1 car, and it's got near 400 horsepower. So it's a very lightweight car with a very healthy amount of power. Maybe when you compare it to an F1 car, it seems a little tiny, but this is a very fast car, faster than the roofs. The only roof that would even really come close is the track spec roof. And even then, it doesn't quite compare. This is a really amazing car. I'm having a lot of fun driving it. Now, something else that's new for this season is that we do have teammates. And my teammate this year is the guy who won Season 3, which is Loro. Loro and I are teammates this year. Let me go ahead and show you Loro's car. You'll notice they look very similar. They go from black to a color and then back to black. So his is black, then blue, then black. Mine is black, then green, then black. But they both have the PRL logo on the front, and they both have our YouTube addresses on the front as well. So as you can see here, it says Box Gaming, or not our addresses, but our usernames on YouTube. So it says Box Gaming on the front of mine, and it's got Dusty4444 on or 44444 on the front of his. Also, just to kind of point it out, this is our team name right here, Big Bad Rad Racing. That's because we're racing the Radical SR8, so we did some talking and we kind of figured that was a pretty cool name. So we are Big Bad Rad Racing, and our cars look somewhat similar. That's what we were going for. Loro put this together, so big thanks to Loro for making my paint job for me. So if you guys feel like thanking somebody for the awesome paint job, he is the one to thank. So let's go ahead and take a look at the qualifying results. Oh, there you go. There's another difference for this season. Qualifying is just, or there actually was no qualifying last year. It was just reverse grid from however the last race was finished. This year there is actually qualifying. It was a 10-minute qualifying session, and I thought, I'll probably be able to pump in 7 or 8 laps. And out of those, I'm sure one of those will be a nice 105 something, 104 something, maybe even. But it turns out you only get 2 flying laps in qualifying. I'm sure that information was readily available to me on the Precision Racing League website in the forums. But I just must have missed out on that one. I didn't read through everything. So I was a little surprised to find out that I only had 2 laps, which means my best lap time was only a 106.5. It was a pretty terrible lap, in case you guys are wondering. Pretty awful lap altogether. I think I lost traction several times during it, so it was not a good lap, but I imagine other people struggled as well. I imagine other people did not know that they only had 2 laps as well. So certainly, I'm not the only one that experienced this problem, so I'm sure I'm not too far out of position, but I do feel like I could have gotten myself up a couple more positions on the grid if it wasn't for my messy qualifying session. Also worth mentioning, this year I am car number 713 because I am from Houston, and that's the Houston area code. So that's really the only difference with my number there. We got some people missing from this race. PJ Gotti, who is one of the organizers for this series, he was not able to make it for this one. Also, I'm not sure who some of these people are in the back. I'm not sure. I know Ashley Blakely. We all know Ashley Blakely from the previous season 3 with the roofs. But the other people, I'm not sure. I swear they weren't racing. I might be wrong about that, but I swear like these 2 guys weren't even in the race. I'm not going to click race and spoil the race for you guys, but I swear we only had 11 people in the race. So I'm not sure if these were league hopefuls, people that were maybe wanting to be in the league but weren't quite sure, so they were just kind of spectating. I don't really know what was going on there. But we do have a lot of returning people. Lauro is from last season, Spencer as well, David as well, Steverson or Esty, Ashley Blakely as well, all from last season. The other Texan, John, is going to be in this season as well. He was car 777 last season with the roofs, and I was car 333. And he was the other Texan, and he was unable to make it to this race, unfortunately, so he's missing. For new people, we got Jem Bolakabasi, who is a Box subscriber, actually, and he's from Turkey, and he is a real-life racer, actually. I want to say he's in Formula Renault 2.0. I think it's a specific series. I think he's in the Formula Renault 2.0 European circuit. I want to say, I do apologize, Jem, if I messed that up. I know it says Sem, but you guys, it is pronounced Gem. And then we also have Jack Velatanlik, who is new as well, as far as I know. Again, last season was my first season, so some of these people might be returning people. I know Gem isn't returning, but Jack, James, and the other James, the Jameses, they might be returning after missing the roof season. I don't know. So they're new to me, though, is the point. And Mark Cunningham is new as well, as far as I know, and I've never seen Lloyd Chopper, Christopher Sturgeon either, so they might be new as well. Okay, I think that just about does it. Okay, I'm going to mention one other thing before I get this race started. This is my first race ever using my left foot to brake. I know some of you are going to be shocked and awed to hear that. Some of you probably already knew it. It's kind of like my horrible little secret. But I've always used my right foot for braking. I'm used to driving cars in real life that have a clutch, a brake, and a gas. And you need your left foot for the clutch. Now, normally, with a real-life car, you can easily heel-toe. You can press the brake and the gas all at the same time with just your right foot. That's very difficult to do with this Logitech Driving Force GT pedals. Nearly impossible to heel-toe. I mean, I don't see it happening. There's just not enough feedback from the pedals. They're very loose, so I don't see myself being able to heel-toe with these. So I have had to adjust my driving style. I didn't have to. I was already pretty quick just using my right foot. But I was harassed about it by enough of the AOR people and other people online that I know. So I decided not long ago that I was going to go ahead and start practicing racing using my left foot to brake. And this was my first iRacing race with it. The upcoming Circuit of the Americas race for AOR is going to be my first F1 2013 race using both feet. So just something to watch out for. If you guys see me do something a little funny and you're like, oh, that's uncharacteristic of his driving style, that's because my driving style has changed, which is weird. I know. It's very, very weird. But let's go ahead and get this race started. So, as you can see, I am starting from, I got a ticker up top. Starting from the 8th position. And already got a very good start and ahead of somebody. Let's see, who was that? I think that's Ashley, actually, who got a poor start in the black and red Radical there. Yep, it sure is. It looks like I'm going around the outside of Jack Velatanlik. I went around the outside of turn 1 of Jack Velatanlik, and it looks like I've moved up into 6th place position already at the start of this race, before even really getting through Sector 1. So, off to a good start. You pretty much got to punch it when you start this car. It's very strange. If you don't floor it, then your revs are going to drop. You're going to bog down. But if you punch it, you get tons of wheel spin. So you kind of have to punch it and then let off the gas. Just get that initial wheel spin, let off the gas to get traction, and then back onto the gas. I'm sorry, I'm watching Jack here. So on board with me, I believe that is James just in front of me in that very wonderful Castrol livery. I remember there was a car in Gran Turismo that had that Castrol livery. And I always thought it was a really cool looking livery. And I am very nicely in the slipstream now. It looks like he made a late decision to defend to the inside a little bit there, as it looks like Jack behind me is doing a little bit of blinking. And I definitely seem to have the pace on James ahead of me at the moment. So it's looking pretty good for my chances to get in front of him. But unfortunately, while I'm stuck behind him, the top four of Loro, Spencer, David, and Jem are starting to break away, pull out a gap. Again, you see James there going very defensive to the inside line for this long left-hand corner, and getting a little squirrely, losing the back end ever so slightly. That is a tough traction location. Traction's at a premium around that section of the track. But here I am getting very close. I'm probably going to be setting him up for a pass along the start-finish straight. But no, I'm very close now. It looks like we're going to move to the inside. And I got the inside line for this upcoming corner, but it looks like he's got the... oh, no, and it looks like there's a slight bit of contact. And Jack has hit him, and so has Esty as well. And just carnage in the midfield. Let's go ahead and take a replay of that. And you can see, yeah, I was to the inside. There's just this light contact. I can tell you guys right now, I'm just seeing this for the first time, actually. I did apologize already on the forums for the incident, just because, you know, it was my car that caused it. Whether it was my fault or not is irrelevant, because it was my car that caused it. So that is a strange looking one, though. I could tell you during the race, this happened. I saw it happen, obviously. I saw my rear view mirror, but I didn't receive any incidents. You know, you get a 1x for an off-track, 2x for losing control, 4x for a contact, and 0x for a minor contact. I didn't even get a 0x. Nothing popped up on my screen when this happened, so I'm thinking it might be lag-related, potentially. I mean, you could see we got pretty close, but there's never actually contact between us. So unfortunately, I think this was a lag-related event, a racing incident that was caused by lag. And unfortunately, that just kind of sent him into a spin, and Jack was unable to avoid him. Or actually, he did a pretty good job of avoiding him. But then Esty, unfortunately, just unable to avoid the contact, and that just sends him off into the woods. Yeah, that's really unfortunate. Again, if that was my fault, I do massively apologize, but I think that was just some sort of racing incident. So there was no steward's report. I didn't get any penalty or anything like that. So I think it was just a racing incident. I did feel a little squeezed on the inside there. It felt like he was not quite using as much of the track as he could. And I think that partially caused it as well. So here we are. We're on board now. There's a little bit of a gap between me and anybody else. So I've moved on to the battle for second, third, and fourth between Spencer, David, and Jem, who is the newcomer, of course, in that green and black Radical. And it looks like Spencer and David are going to be going side by side into the final corner here. And David just narrowly edges him out around the outside. And that's going to give Jem a nice run on Spencer here. Spencer's in the orange one. David's in the light blue one up ahead. He's now in second. As Jem moves himself up into a podium-paying position for the first race of the season here as we start lap 4 now. And he's gone a little deep into turn 1, but Spencer hasn't really been able to capitalize on it. David's already starting to pull out a little bit of a gap on these two. And it should be mentioned that Loro is long gone. Loro is long gone. He put in a 103 for qualifying, which surprised a lot of people. And then look at him. He's already 5, 6, 7, 8 seconds up the road, something like that. I mean, he is just gone. Just total domination. Oh, right. Another change for this season that I forgot to mention in the beginning of the video that I want to mention to you guys now is that there are compulsory pit stops. It's not a requirement, but the car will only hold 7 gallons of fuel. Which means that you only have 7 gallons of fuel at your disposal at any given time. Which means most people, just about everyone, I don't think anybody didn't pit, but everyone's going to have to be pitting for fuel. You don't have to pit for tires. The tires will last the entire 39 laps of this race. But unfortunately, the 7 gallons of fuel is not enough, so you're going to have to pit at some point. Now, from what I can tell, this is about a 12 or 11 gallon race. Somewhere around there. So you could do 7 gallons in the first stint and 4 or 5 in the second stint, or you could do 4 or 5 gallons in the first stint and then 7 gallons in the second stint. or you could do 6 and 6, just make them even. You can get tires. You can get another set of tires if you want to, but it's tough warming these tires up, and the tires will last 39 laps. So, and especially if you're careful, you know, you're not sliding a lot and that sort of thing, spinning out. So yeah, definitely it adds an element of strategy to all of this, which is just going to up the excitement level ever so slightly, which should be nice for you guys, the viewers. It's nice for myself being a racer as well. I always like exciting races, but yeah, it should be good fun. So in the distance there, you can see actually I am still kind of dropping back from this battle for second, third, and fourth. With Jack just behind me. Jack Velatanlik is just behind me in that kind of orange and pink Radical. Not on screen at the moment, sorry. I'm just trying to talk about what's happening in the race while we look at multiple things. So you are seeing Spencer trying to get by Jem, but not far behind is Jack trying to get past me. And this is Esty in the white and yellow car because of the incident on the first lap. Oh, Spencer moves up the inside and takes second or third place off of Jem there. That was a surprising location for a move. Oh, and Jem is getting a little bit squirrely and went off the track ever so slightly. Took a lot of curb for that penultimate corner. Really want to be avoiding the curbs in this car. Which I believe you will see later on in this race, just how deadly these curves can be, just by unsettling the car. So here we are, coming to the end of lap 6, start of lap 7, and Esty gets nicely out of the way to let Spencer and Jem through, since he is a lap behind. And I'm going to go ahead and switch back to myself. And we can see what's going on with Jack here. So he's sticking with me pretty good. Definitely doesn't seem like I have a massive pace difference to him. So it's going to take a lot of consistent laps in order to keep him behind. Consistently fast laps. I need to not be making mistakes. And very difficult. This section, of course, you can see I'm struggling, and Jack is just trying to avoid hitting me as I'm struggling through the tight and twisty section of this track. Again, grip is really at a premium in those low-speed corners, especially with the change of direction. So very easy to spin in the low-speed corners here. It's pretty easy to spin even in the high-speed corners. Believe it or not, I am using a fairly low downforce setup for this. I believe my wing angle, my rear wing angle, was somewhere around 14 degrees, something like that, which is low. So actually, not a lot of downforce with this setup, unfortunately, and it's making it a little bit difficult at times, keeping the car on the track. But so far, I should mention, no issues. I have had no off tracks, no contacts, no incidents whatsoever. I mean, there was that one incident with James earlier, but again, I did not receive any incidents for that. So far, this is an incident-free race for me. Oh, and something's going on up ahead here. Let's rewind this. I'm not sure exactly what happened. But it looks like Jem has fallen off the back of Spencer. And yeah, he's that is really strange. I'm not sure if Jem realized that Esty was a lap down or not. I'm not sure what's going on. Huh, that's a really strange one. Really strange incident there, but he's gonna let Esty back through even though he's a lap down. So yeah, that was a strange one. Jem is pretty new to iRacing. Before you guys get too critical, Jem's pretty new to iRacing. He just got it like last month, so he is very new to all this. He's not new to racing at all. As I mentioned, he's a real life racer, but he is pretty new to iRacing still, so he may not have been understanding what was going on there. But it seemed like maybe he potentially even was having a problem with his wheel, and that caught Esty. Esty ran into the back of him because he was going slow, and then he just wanted to give that position back to Esty. So a little awkward, but that is going to move me up a position because, of course, Jem was ahead of me. So that's going to move me up into 4th place now with Jack in 5th. And Jack Jack's getting very close. Again, I really seem to be struggling through that tight and twisty sector. That might be because of my low downforce setup. Jack very possibly could be running a higher downforce setup, which is allowing him to catch up with me in those low-speed corners. It looks like I've gotten a little bit of a better exit out of that final corner. Yeah, even though he's got the slipstream on me, it looks like I'm even pulling out ever so slightly. So I think he might be running a little bit higher downforce than I am. Oh, and something has happened with Spencer here. What's going on with Spencer? Uh-oh. Oh, no. So, Spencer and David here are teammates, just FYI, and oh no, yep, and Spencer has lost it, yep, Spencer just loses the back end in turn 1, and unfortunately there was nowhere for David to go, and he just slams into the side of Spencer. It looks like Spencer has some pretty significant damage. I am wondering if he is going to have to pit for repairs, potentially. Let's see if we can get to it. Oh yeah. He definitely needs to pit for repairs. He is managing to kind of hang on to it at the moment. Yeah, you can see the car. He's fighting just to keep it pointed in a straight line. Yeah. So that's some pretty serious damage, unfortunately for Spencer. And oh, this is a cool livery. I like this. And so we'll go back on board with myself now, and that's actually allowed me to catch up now with David and actually pull out a little bit of a gap to Jack behind now. And of course this is going to move me up another position, so actually I am now in a podium baying position. I'm in 3rd place, ladies and gentlemen, in this first race. And again, I want to remind you, I am using my left foot for braking, which is not something I'm used to, so this is not something that I expected from this race at all. I did not expect to be in the podium at all, especially with the level of driving that we see in these races. People are usually very consistent, very fast, very professional, very respectful. So I wasn't expecting quite so many crashes. Oh, as David just loses the back end in that long left-hand corner, the slow one, and unfortunately that sends him into the barrier for a little bit more minor damage. And that's going to promote me up now into 2nd place, everyone. I am in 2nd place in this race on lap 11 currently. Big gap back to Jack Velatanlik, and a big gap up ahead to Loro, though. So not looking possible for the race win. Let's go ahead and you guys can see exactly how far. So this is Loro going through the kind of back straight, I guess you could call it. And then here's Spencer, who is now a lap down. And here's Mark Cunningham having a little bit of an adventure through turn 1, and he gets nicely out of my way. So I'm just coming through turn 1 when Loro is actually, he's just about finishing the lap. So he's getting pretty close to lapping 2nd place, which would just be insane. I haven't seen somebody lap 2nd place in God knows how long. It's been a really long time. Okay, so I'm in 2nd at the moment. Lap 12, Jack just behind. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward now so we can find the really interesting parts, because I do believe things slow down quite a bit here. If you guys are looking for the unedited race, just remember at the end of this video there will be a link to the unedited cockpit view of this race. So if you're interested in watching my laps one by one and seeing, something has happened with Jack, let's find out. Yep, it looks like he might have just gone deep into turn 1 here. Nope, he just lost the back end. So once again, we see people just kind of losing the back end under braking at the entrance of a corner. And that just goes to show you guys just how difficult these cars can be to control. This is a simulator, so it's the grip levels are not unrealistic. These are very realistic grip levels, so you gotta be very careful. And they don't really have any front downforce, and of course at low speed you're not really generating even any rear downforce, even with a wing that size. So unfortunately that means Jack has dropped off pretty significantly off the back of me. He's still in 3rd place, but quite a ways back. So this is the end of lap 16, start of lap 17. and that's Loro. And you're probably wondering, whoa, where did Loro come from? Well, Loro just pit. So Loro is more than a pit stop ahead of me. He actually came out of the pits, and he's still like 5 or 6 seconds ahead of the pit, ahead of me currently in second place. So that just shows you the kind of gap that Loro has currently in this race. Very dominant, just flawless driving from him though. You can't fault the guy one bit. He absolutely deserves the position that he's in currently. Because he is driving a perfect race. Not only is he going fast, but he is doing it every single lap without incident. Now, you may have noticed in the background there that I had a little bit of an off, so I just wanted to show you guys that real quick. So again, pretty straightforward. The change of direction in the low speed corner just causes the back end to step out, and once it steps out, it's pretty hard to control at lower speed. When you have a spin in this car at a little bit of a higher speed, it's a little bit easier to control, but a low speed spin like that, you're really just along for the ride. So let's go ahead and fast forward some more, as we are now finishing lap 17, start of lap 18, and still in second place. Oh, interesting. It looks like Jack has fallen out of third, though. Yeah. Jack's now in fifth. I'm not sure if that's because of a pit stop, though, so I'm not going to fault him anything there. I don't know if he made any mistakes or if that's just because of a pit stop. We are into now the pit stop window. Remember, everyone, there is a little bit of strategy involved when it comes to the refueling and all that. So it's possible Jack, like Loro, started the race on 5 gallons of fuel and is now doing a longer stint at the end of the race. So he may have pit and got his fuel already, and that's why Jack is now so far behind. In fact, I'm willing to bet that's what it is, because he seemed very consistent, very quick, so I'm willing to bet that he probably just pit for fuel, and that's why I have such a gap over him now. So doing some more fast forwarding. Somebody lets me by. That's a back marker. I believe that was Mark Cunningham. And coming on to start another lap and going through it. It's a little funny and fast forward here. Lap 21 now, so we're getting close. I did start the race with 7 gallons of fuel. I just wanted to do the straightforward kind of way. So I started the race with 7 gallons of fuel, and that's going to mean I'll have a little bit lighter fuel level. Right now I have a very light fuel level. This is like quality level of fuel that I'm on right now at this point in the race. As I got another back marker ahead of me, and actually I'm going to find out who that is real quick. That is James Myers, one of the 2 Jameses, and it looks like he is going to let me through on turn 1 there. That was very nice of him. And and I've spun it. Oh man! So after so we just saw myself spin not too long ago, and then I had the incident on lap 1 or 2, of course. But really, just those 2 incidents so far. I'm on lap 24 of this race, and just there's the curb that I was telling you guys about. Let me go ahead and rewind this so you can see it from a little bit better point of view. Right there, just barely touched the corner, and the car starts to spin. And yeah, I just kind of go with it because it just didn't look like that was going to be something that I could catch. So I just kind of let it do the full 180, and then I brought it back around with another 180 to bring it onto the track facing the right direction. That lets Esty by, but of course he is a lap down, so no change of position there. It just means that he is unfortunately going to have to slow down again to let me by, so I'm kind of ruining his race at this point. He just keeps having to slow down to let me by, which is not good for his race, of course. So I do apologize to Esty for that spin. Coming to the end of lap 24, I do believe this is where I'm going to pit, and I do. And there is no pit limiter. There's no auto pitting in this game or sim, whatever you want to call it. So you just got to come in. You got to stay under 45 miles per hour, and then you have to find your guy. Boop, right there. Looks like I'm actually pitting in front of Loro's pit box. So remember, this is just for fuel, not actually taking on any tires or anything like that. Just putting on fuel. So my tires will be cooling down ever so slightly as I'm sitting in the pits here, but it won't be massive. It won't be like putting on a brand new set of tires. And then once you cross the green cones, you can floor it. So full speed now, full speed ahead. And it looks like I have lost the position. I'm now in third place. It looks like David has now jumped me. I'm not sure if he is yet to pit or if he undercut me. I'm not sure what happened there. So I'm not going to bother rewinding it or anything like that either. So I'm just going to leave it where it is at the moment. But he is either yet to pit or he has severely undercut me. I did have those 2 spins, of course, which would have certainly aided him in his quest for the undercut. That's very possible. And here we see on my out lap, Dusty is, sorry, I don't want to say Dusty. Loro has caught me and is ready to lap me. Now, what you really need to notice is just behind Loro is Jack and Spencer. That is for position. So Loro behind me in the blue and black car, he is lapping me. But I am fully aware that just behind him is Jack followed by Spencer, and they are on the same lap as me. So those are for position. So I need to be letting Loro by in a safe yet respectable manner. But at the same time, I need to be keeping my speed up as high as I can in order to try and stay in front of Jack and Spencer. Because again, those are for position, and I am currently in a podium-paying position, so I really would like to stay where I am. But unfortunately, we're on now lap 26 of this race. Only 13, 14 laps left, unfortunately. So, and I mean that is enough for them to get by me, but we're in the closing stages of this race. Certainly, we're into the final third or so thereabouts. So Dusty, Loro, I'm sorry, I'm gonna keep doing it. Oh no, and I've spun it, and that's caused some contact between Jack and Spencer. And just really just after lap 21, it just seems like I'm really struggling with the car for some reason. Obviously the tires are starting to lose it. The tires are getting older and older and older, but really no one else is no one else spun here. So I think that's just a mistake, or nerves started getting to me. I'm not 100% sure. But Jack and Spencer do a fantastic. Excuse me, I got a hiccup. Jack and Spencer do a fantastic job of navigating their way around me, so they really don't lose too much time, and really no contact, no damage or anything like that. As I do a quick 180 and continue down the road, now in 5th place position. This is more around where I expected to finish this race, maybe even a little bit lower. I was thinking maybe 6th or 7th because I was using my left foot for braking. And that might also partially be why you're seeing so many mistakes from me here, is just because I'm so uncomfortable with the left foot braking. I'm very good at controlling how much brake pressure I use with my right foot. It's very difficult for me to control the amount of brake pressure that I'm using for my left foot, however, because I have no practice with it. But that's part of the reason that I'm doing this. I probably could have been a little bit more consistent if I'd used my right foot for braking, but I wouldn't be moving forward. I need to be improving myself as a racer, even though I'm just getting older every day. And young kids are coming in like Jim and just showing us old folks up. But I need to be improving, I need to be practicing, I need to be doing what I can. Because I really do enjoy racing, and of course everybody likes to do well in racing. But really, I mean, I just don't want Loro to just beat us all so badly. For Loro to lap every person on the grid, that was just, I mean, it's almost embarrassing, really. It's embarrassing for everyone, really. Everyone that isn't Loro. So yeah, you can see up ahead, Jack and Spencer going side by side in that battle for third. So that's going to help me catch up to them. I don't really have any damage to the car, so there is every opportunity for me to catch back up to these guys. Got about 10 or 11 laps left or so, give or take. Sorry, I should mention, this is a 39-lap race, but it's also a 50-minute race, whichever comes first. So if we end up hitting 50 minutes... Oh, something's gone on up ahead. What has happened here? Let's take this back. But I just want to mention real quickly that, yeah, it's 50 minutes or 39 laps, whichever comes first. Oh, okay, so actually Dusty had not lapped everyone. This is second place David, and that's Loro just behind. I'm sorry, I keep calling him Dusty, and he loses the back end under braking for that long left-hand corner. Dusty moves. Lauro moves to the middle, or excuse me, takes the inside line, moves past him. James and Spencer as well take that position, so they move up into second and third. And that's going to put me right up behind David now. So I am looking good for possibly taking fourth or third or second. I mean, I'm really not that far behind second place now. There was quite a gap between me and second place, but now that second place is Spencer, then I am quite a bit closer to that podium position. So if I could just keep it clean, keep it on the track, keep moving fast as well, then I'm sure I can probably get some nice points, possibly even a podium position as we start lap 29, still in 5th place with David in 4th, just ahead. David seems to be struggling, though, losing the back end quite a bit. He does seem to have very good raw pace, but that's not the first time that he's spun or had an incident, so he does seem to be struggling a little bit with this car, or possibly with this track, or possibly with the two of them. It's very bumpy in certain points here. Oh no, David has spun it again, and oh no, that is the worst possible scenario. Oh no, that is bad. So David has spun it again, in the exact same location, actually. Here, look at this. These are David's tire marks from last lap, right here. Going through Jack's car, going through here, up in here, and then ending right around here. So those are David's tire marks from spinning last lap. So now this is him on this lap, and boom, you could see the back end break loose there. And you can see he's spinning in the exact same location. He's actually spinning over the tire marks. So I'm going to pause it right there, and this is what I'm coming up to. So I see that he is spun and he's moving off the track. I saw the spin last lap as well, so I know he's going to be moving to the outside. So I know that I need to be moving to the inside of the track in order to avoid him. But it looks like I've almost overcooked it here. It looks like I'm kind of going to the outside, and unfortunately that means David decides to move to the inside of the track. Because I'm still trail braking all the way through this, and you can see my steering wheel is all the way to the left, but it's just not turning. And finally, I get it to a low enough speed, it starts turning. But unfortunately, David has already started moving across, and he damages the front right of my car. Really, really, really unfortunate there. I was pretty disappointed by that, because now with this damage I have no chance of catching second place. Now whatever position I'm in after passing David, which I believe is 4th, is now looking like the best possible chance, best possible place that I can finish in for this race, because with damage to your car such as this, there's no way that I'm going to be able to catch second and third place who have undamaged cars. So I'm not saying it was David's fault. He thought he was moving out of the way for me. But in general, if you spin like that and there's cars coming, you really just want to, pick a side of the track. He was already on the outside of the track, so it's really unfortunate that he decided to move to the inside at the last second there and pretty much just block the entire track. So he is going to let me by here, as you guys are about to see, but with the damage to my car, that has pretty much ruined my chances of moving up to any further positions in this race. And honestly, I think my damage is worse than his, so I think David's even going to be a threat from behind after so long. He's conceded the position for now, but how long until he passes me? So let's go ahead and move back onto another onboard shot. So I am trying to do my best to, and that's just lost tons of time now to second and third place as well. I mean, just look, they're already going towards turn 2, and I'm just starting turn 1 as David goes off the track now. So that's going to give me a little bit of a buffer to David, but unfortunately there's still 10 laps left in this race, give or take, which is going to give him the opportunity to try and pass me back for 4th place position here. So we're going to do a little bit of fast forwarding now after all these incidents. And you can see how well Esty is keeping up with me now after this damage, and you can see David is catching me as well. So It's not terrible damage. Obviously, it's not bad enough where I need to be pitting, but it has affected my lap time. I'm probably half a second to a second a lap slower than I should be as a result of the damaged front end. So let's see now. We're starting this is lap 33, ending lap 33, start of lap 34. Looks like David has gotten by SD, who is a lap down again. Just want to reiterate that. And yep, he's starting to close me down. It's lap 35 now. And oh, and something's happened. Something has happened. Let's go on board for this. This is the final corner, very high speed, fourth gear corner. Oh yeah, just kind of narrowly touched the curb there. You can see right here. Right there. I touch the curb, it just sends the back end out a little bit. I let off the gas. The downforce is enough to get traction back, but unfortunately I've lost too much speed through the corner itself, and that's going to move David up alongside me and even past me, actually. I'm going to try and stick it to the inside, but with the damage again, I got to brake a little bit earlier than I normally would. Going through this very bumpy turn one. It's so bumpy through there. Really got to be careful on the throttle. And so that's David up into fourth. That's going to drop me down into fifth. Yep, I'm in fifth. I was still in excuse me. I was still in fifth when I crossed the line. So, but no, I am in fifth now. Lap 36, only 3 laps of this race left. And actually, I don't even think that we end up doing all the laps because of the time limit. So I do believe... yes. And also, Spencer had to pit. In the end, you see him coming out of the pits right now. So that actually gave me a free position, which I wasn't expecting. I was in 5th place when I crossed the finish line just now to start lap 37. But Spencer just pit, and I think that's because of the damage from the incident between himself and David on lap 10. I believe because of that damage, he was forced to pit, and when he pit, he went ahead and took on fuel on lap 10, at the end of lap 10, which then means he had to do 27 laps on 7 gallons of fuel, which is not quite enough. So unfortunately, he did have to come back into the pits and just get another gallon or 2 just to finish this race. So really unfortunate for Spencer. That's dropped him out of the podium positions and promoted me up into 4th, and David up into 3rd into the podium positions. So, end of lap 37, and this is going to be the final lap, I can tell you, because I remember we did not make it for all 39 laps. So this is lap 38. This is the final lap of the race. Currently in 4th place position with my damaged car. I gotta say, the first half of the race was pretty much flawless from me, aside from that incident on the first lap or 2 with James. Besides that incident, it was pretty much flawless. No track, no off tracks, really no spins. And then just for some reason in the second half of this race, it all started falling apart for me. But I'm very happy to come home for... oh, right, you know what? No, my race ended on lap 38 because I'm a lap down from Dusty. So that's why it was only 38 laps. It's because Lauro lapped everyone. So he's the only one that actually got to complete 39 laps. So that's going to do it for this race. I did just really want to talk briefly with you guys just about personal stuff that's been going on. You guys may have thought that the number of videos has kind of tapered off recently, and that's because I've been super busy. I did leave my job back in February. Some people may already know this. I left my job back in February because I was unhappy with where the company was headed and where I was headed within the company and that sort of thing. So I left and I found a new job, and that new job started in March. A couple weeks ago. Yeah, it's been a couple weeks now. So I've been doing this new job, and the hours are a little bit insane during the training period. So For the past couple of weeks, I've been working 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday, and that's just, it's made it so that I am exhausted. I am not used to waking up at 8:30 in the morning at all. So I've just been very tired recently. Miko's very busy with school as well, so I hope you guys aren't mad at him. He's been very busy doing his school stuff and taking care of his own personal life as well. He's doing a great job of getting out all the box casts and the co-op videos and the career videos, but I have been slacking on the iRacing videos and solo career and that sort of thing, and I did want to apologize to you guys. It's not something that I wanted to happen. It's not like I'm tired of the channel or anything like that. I really don't want you guys to think that. It's just because I've been so darn busy. But this training period only lasts 4 weeks, so I'm 2 weeks in, 2 weeks to go, and then I go to part-time, 25 hours a week. And then I will be able to do some more stuff with the channel. So I just wanted to let you guys know that there may have been a little bit of a lull in some of the content that's been coming out with Box. But I just want to let you know that's just because of all the stuff that's been going on in my real life, and it is only temporary. So I do appreciate you guys sticking with us during this time. I did want to mention Gem in the end ended up getting some damage. And it was pretty much irreparable. So this is what the race results look like. Lauro comes home with the win, obviously, after lapping everyone. Jack with a very impressive second place finish. David in third, myself in fourth, Spencer in fifth, Esty in sixth, James in seventh, Mark in eighth, Ashley in ninth, and Jem in 10th. I'm not sure if you still get points for DNFing this early, though. So certainly everyone from 8th up got points. I'm not sure about Ashley, Jem, and James, unfortunately. Things will be returning to normal, though, pretty soon here at Box. Eventually, once I go back to a part-time sort of hours. I mean, right now I'm working 45 hours a week. I used to work 35. And then I'm going to be going to 25. So pretty soon here, things should be back to normal, maybe even better than normal. But that's going to do it for this video. And remember, at the end, there is going to be a link for the unedited cockpit view for the race. So make sure you check it out if you're into that sort of thing. And thank you ever so much for watching.